hello to everyone in Taiwan.
Did you bring it home as a memorabilia?
This face? No, the mask scared the hell out of me. I don't want to see it again.
The first day after I moved in, the phone rang in the basement. What?
How are you?
Jason, good. How are you?
Excellent.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Hi, Ethan.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. A little bit sleepy, but okay, not anymore.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being sleepy. Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.
爱看恐怖片的观众应该对2012年的凶兆 Sinister 完全不陌生吧？Sinister 至今仍被公认是21世纪最恐怖的电影。目前幕后的黄金组合包括伊森霍克、导演 Scott Derrickson、恐怖王牌制片 Blumhouse 的 Jason Blum。相隔10年，因为这通暗黑电话的 Black Phone 再次搭上线。
Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
上回和制片 Jason 合作国定杀戮日 The Purge， 预算小到伊森霍克拍片还得睡沙发。这次不爱恐怖片的他，为何又下海？而且演的还是他最怕一眼就定型的反派呢？原来
Was it difficult to persuade Ethan to join this movie?
No, it wasn't that difficult. I sent him the script. Originally, I wanted him to play the father. And he read the script and he said, I love it, but I want to be the grabber. We had this conversation about it, and I'm glad that he won the argument because it was the right thing to do. He was much better as the grabber than the dad. I'm really glad about that, and he was terrific as the grabber. And but he said yes right away as long as he could play that part.
And he definitely didn't sleep on the couch this time, right?
No, we gave him a hotel room this time. I think he earned it.
You say you hate playing the baddies, but you did it again twice in a year. And you are not a big fan of doing genre or horror because you get too scared, but you did it again too. And I heard that you asked for the grabber yourself. Why?
Well, complicated answer. I've learned enough to know that if you really are interested in making good movies, you have to work with good directors. And I believe in Scott Derrickson. I think he knows how to make a good, scary movie. And it felt worth it for me I like to be a part of a band, so to speak. And so it's not just about my character, it's about giving you a good movie experience. And if I can help get a good movie made, then I'm living my life the way that I want to live it. And I like being in different kinds of movies. You know, whether we're talking about a Marvel sci-fi thing or a scary movie, there's something I know how to do, and it's not very important, but it's a little thing, and it's performance. And so I love being in different kinds of movies.
I love you used the voice of the grabber saying yes to Scott. Was that the first thing you began to become the grabber?
Exactly. I basically wanted to audition for him. I read this, he offered me this part, and I was like, I told him before I read it that I wasn't going to do it because I don't like playing villains and like that. But I read it and I thought, you know what, Ethan, you should change your roadmap. Let's do something different. So I said yes, and I read some of the lines to his voice memo and hopefully scared him.
Definitely. And facial expressions are crucial to any actor in the world, but you can't rely on those anymore in this movie. So your voice, how you stand and walk become the most important. How long did it take you to find the right one?
Well, what you said is absolutely true. You know, when you go to theater school the first time, one of the first things they do is mask work often to get you to focus on voice and speech and movement. How can you articulate your character through how he walks? How can you articulate your character through how he drinks a cup of coffee? How does one character speak differently? Because one of the things you notice about people, you know, if you fall in love with somebody or you have a best friend and you notice they talk differently with their mother, or they talk differently when their grandmother is around, or they talk differently to a professor than they do to a waiter. Our voices are always changing, and they're always so expressive of who we are and what we're trying to communicate. And learning to master that as a storytelling technique is part of the life of an actor. And so I find it really interesting. So the mask, to me, was liberating.
I love Ethan. I love him personally. I love working with him. And on this movie, I didn't have to do a lot of directing. He just really understood the character of the grabber. And I felt like when he came to set, he knew what he was going to do. He had a real looseness to him and just somehow really captured a terrifying character. And I think he's doing some of the best work of his career right now.
I have no doubt that the grabber mask will be the most popular item in Halloween this year. But it actually took you 2 months just to say no to it.
Yeah, it was. I think it will be very popular Halloween mask. I hope so. You know, but it took us a lot of time to get it just right. You know, it was a lot. There was a lot of thought, a lot of conversation, a lot of the details just to get it exactly the way that it is. But in the end, it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm glad that people are responding so much to it.
So was it comfortable to wear that? Did you bring it home as a memorabilia?
No, the mask scared the hell out of me. I did not want to bring it home as a memorabilia. I don't want to see it again. I find it utterly terrifying. So no.
I made you some breakfast.
What did you put in that?
Salt and pepper.
I saw the video of you and Mason. You laugh a lot between takes. Maybe that's the way you protect him.
Yes.
He is actually around the same age as you began to act, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So it's very easy for me to empathize with him, and I feel that laughter is a great tool to remind people that we're at play and that everyone is safe. You know, we're weaving a tale.
He's so amazing to watch in person. You know, when he has that mask on, his eyes are just so terrifying, and he did such an amazing job, and I was so fortunate to, you know, be doing scenes with him, and I would love to work with him again.
For me, the scariest moment in the movie is when you see the grabber towards the end of the movie, when Ethan is sitting on that chair in the kitchen, and he's not moving, and he's just sitting there, and you don't know if he's asleep or not, and the boy's sneaking out, trying to get by him. For me, that's the scariest moment, and the most wow moment, and the most kind of edge of your seat moment of the movie for me.
Snakes scare me a lot. I don't like snakes.
For some reason, I have a weird fear of bridges. Because I've seen so many movies where they just collapse or like a monster destroys them. So whenever I'm driving on a bridge or something, I get really scared and I can't really look out the window.
Yeah, I don't like snakes at all.
暗黑电话结合鲁童、灵异、侦探等各种元素，在烂番茄开出高分。成功除了因为演员的到位演出、兄妹情深的感动牵绊、史蒂芬金儿子原著短片的灵感，电影情感会如此真实，是因为电影里很多都是导演史考特的自身经验。他和小男主角一样来自丹佛，小时候经历朋友被掳、邻居被杀害的种种阴霾，拍这部片等于是再次揭开自己的心灵伤疤。
I never thought that I'd have tears in my eye while watching a horror movie, not because of being scared. Maybe it's because of you drew a lot from your own childhood experiences, and making this movie must be like an extended therapy to you.
Oh, for sure, yeah. A lot of it was taken from my childhood. You know, a lot of the violence in the neighborhood, violence in the home, but also having some really good friends at that time and loyal friends, you know. I really felt like the only way you could make a movie like this where you're talking about children in jeopardy is for it to have also a lot of humor and a lot of inspiration and ultimately a lot of hope and joy. So it's very scary, but there's a lot more than just scariness to the picture.
Yes, definitely. And you built haunted houses in your basement as a kid?
I did, yes. I don't know where did I say that got around. Yeah, I used to build haunted houses in my basement all the time, especially around Halloween. And then I'd bring the neighborhood kids through, and I'd like walk them through, and sometimes I'd get my friends to play like characters in the shadows or in a cage or something and reach out and grab people as they walk through.
So did you have a black phone too?
No, but I do now. When I just moved into a house last year, and the first day after I moved into it, the phone rang in the basement. And I was like, what? And I went downstairs, and there was a black phone that had been installed, and I answered it, and it was Jason Blum, and he installed a black phone in my basement without me knowing it.
Wow, too scary.
Yeah, it was great.
Was he the only victim?
I did. He's the only one. I didn't get one for Ethan, but there's an actual black phone in his basement, and I have the number of I'm the only one with the number. So when I call this number, the phone in his basement rings. I actually, on an interview before this, I just tried to call it, but he did not pick up. But it's in my phone.
You are the expert of horror movie. What was the biggest challenge in this time?
I think the most challenging is we shot the movie really in deep COVID. It was really when things were very, very shut down. So it made the movie significantly more expensive. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to do a movie. I never went to the set because it was COVID, so I never went to the set. I just talked to Scott. And it's just very hard to do the movie when you can't get close to the actors and when everyone's in a mask. It's tough. There are positive things about it too. I mean, Scott said that this pace goes faster because no one talks to each other. So there's no small talk. You're just working all the time. So I guess there are positive things too. But overall, it's a challenge to shoot with all the COVID measures.
Scott has been directed some big blockbuster Marvel movie, and now he is back to his root. Any difference of his working methods or direction?
Well, he has a lot more experience, and I have a lot more experience, and Ethan has a lot more experience. So it was more fun to do this movie than Sinister because we all trust each other more, and we have a long 10-year relationship now. So I think we had more fun doing the movie. I think the movie's better than Sinister because we're more experienced. So that's very different. And I'm not very interested in producing big, expensive movies. So Scott does those on his own, but if he wants to do small movies, hopefully he'll do them with us. This was a smaller movie. Scott's next movie is big, but maybe the movie after that will be smaller again.
The best thing about him was probably that he was always there for us if we ever needed to talk, if we were nervous about
if we
doing
needed, like,
an intense scene.
Yeah, he like one time for maybe a really emotional scene in this film, I asked for 5 minutes of my trailer just to get ready. He said yes, of course. So he really knows how to make an actor feel comfortable and make them feel safe, and he's just such a nice person. I'm so fortunate for everything he's done for me.
So how many times of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre have you seen?
Oh gosh, Texas Chainsaw, probably 5. Yeah.
Only 5?
No, 5. I think probably only 5. There are other horror films I've seen more of. I've probably seen Suspiria 15 times. So,
15?
Yeah, probably. It's my favorite horror film.
Hello to all the great Blumhouse fans in Taiwan. I hope you enjoy The Black Phone.
Hello, Taiwan. Go see The Black Phone in the biggest movie theater you can. It's very suspenseful and scary, but it's also got a lot of heart and soul and even inspiration. It's going to be a great experience for you if you go, I promise. I think it's the best movie I've made, and I really hope everybody goes and has a good time.
Hello to everyone in Taiwan. My name is Ethan Hawke. The Black Phone is coming out, and if you're interested in a good, scary movie, prepare to be scared. You'll have a good time. It's worth it, too. It's a scary movie with a heart of gold.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you next time in person.
Thank you so much, Annie.
Bye.